Hey, welcome to Classic Car Garage, the Classic Car Restoration How-To television show, the most thorough and complete show of its kind on TV today. Now, this is going to be the place to be right here in our shop for the next 13 weeks because we're going to take you step by step through the restoration of a classic or special interest automobile. And along the way, we're going to share with you all the tips, trade secrets, and techniques that the pros use. And we're going to teach you how to do things yourself so that you can save tons and tons of money, possibly even thousands of dollars. Now, when we were deciding on a car to restore for our project car, really there were a couple of things to consider. One of which, of course, was money. We wanted a car that was going to be affordable to us. Parts availability was a consideration as well, too. We also wanted a car that was going to be fun to drive and has a little resale when we're done with it. Well, all those things considered, really we only came to one conclusion. And I don't want to offend any of my Mopar or GM brothers out there because I love those cars as well. But this is arguably America's favorite pony car, the Mustang.
On April 16, 1964, all three TV networks ran commercials like these, with the announcer saying, April 17th, the unexpected, the Ford Mustang. A brilliant new kind of car, a new generation of Fords, for a new breed of Americans who want bucket seats, stick shift action, who collect sports car badges and trading stamps, who want the elegance of a European touring car and until now had to settle for basic transportation. This is for them. This is Mustang. With an unexpected variety of options, Mustang is the one car designed to be designed by you. Get ready to meet the unexpected April 17th at your Ford dealers. Mustang is only days away. These wild Mustang horses were symbolic of what the car was all about. John Connolly at the J. Walter Thompson Advertising Agency came up with the name after researching animal names at the Detroit Public Library. Ford continued to pique America's interest with its commercials. Mustang. Mustang's coming April 17th. The unexpected Ford Mustang. At the New York World's Fair April 17th, the Mustang made its debut as a hardtop and a convertible. The reaction was pandemonium to its sporty, youthful style. Ford dealers had to close their doors because of the crush. A Mustang was sold by lottery because of the demand, and the winner slept in his car until his check cleared. A truck driver, mesmerized by the car in a San Francisco showroom, plowed through the window. 100,000 were sold in the first 4 months, 1,000 a day in 1964. Frank Sinatra and Debbie Reynolds, among other celebrities, ordered theirs on the first day.
Isn't it great to see that old footage again, all the old commercials? You know, it really brings back some pleasant memories. It also shows how this little pony car has evolved from what it was in 1964 and a half to what it is today. Well, you know, our show comes to you from Southern California, arguably the car capital of the world. Well, there are a lot of Mustangs around here, but hey, we don't know everything there is to know about these cars, so we needed an expert. Once again, I came to one conclusion, and that's Jerry Choate of West Coast Classic Mustang in Canoga Park, California. Jerry, how you doing?
Very good, sir. How you doing?
Great. Well, tell me, do we make the right choice, Mustang?
Oh, yeah. There is no other choice.
Well, I thought you'd say that to begin with. Tell me a little bit about your history with a Mustang. At what age did you get involved with this hobby?
Well, at 15 years old, I restored my first car in my parents' garage, and later on it evolved into West Coast Classic Mustang.
And West Coast Classic Mustangs has been in business for how long?
5 years.
Okay, and you're here in Canoga Park, California. You do a little service, parts, repair?
Yes, sir, we do.
All of the above?
All the above.
All right, now, with our Project Mustang that we're going to be looking for, and of course our viewers are going to want to know things that they can look for on these cars, how to evaluate the Mustang. What are some of the areas that we want to pay some special attention to?
Well, you really want to look for rust. Rust is going to be a major factor in the purchase of a car. You want to check around the floor pan area, the windowsill area, in the trunk, and like along the bottom of the car in the undercarriage, and make sure that there's no major rust. A little bit of rust is okay. A floor pan, if it has a little bit of rust, that's okay. That's always repairable.
Right, and I understand that torque boxes, frame rails, things like that are also very critical areas in these cars.
Yes, because it's a unibody construction, you want to make sure the integrity of the underside is in good, solid condition. So if those parts are rusted out, that's kind of a car you'd like to stay away from.
Right, because the body repairs, of course, are going to be more expensive than the mechanical repairs, and especially if there's cutting and welding and rust damage in there, too.
Yeah, it can add up quite a bit.
And we're real lucky here in Southern California because most of our cars are relatively dry. But for the California cars, too, we do get rust in some key areas. areas, don't we? And where are those?
Yeah, that's going to be like in the floor pan area. What happens is in these cars is that you get a little bit of leakage through the window seals or through the cowl vent area.
Right.
And it's a very little bit. You don't really notice. So what happens after years and years, eventually it's going to rust through a floor pan, but that's not a big deal.
Right, and we want to look for a complete car too, not a basket case. Everything is there. And why do we want to do that?
Well, because when you get a car, okay, you want to make sure that you take it apart, that you label and bag everything, you photograph, you document, so that way when you go to put the car back together, it's a lot easier.
Right, and if you get a basket case, you don't know if all the parts are in that basket, and furthermore, just like you said, you don't know how they came apart.
Exactly, and it takes quite a bit to put them back together without having pulled them apart yourself.
Right, but there are some handy books and some references, and we're going to be covering all those things on this show.
Yes.
Well, tell you what, it's time to take a look for our project car. We want to find one on today's show, and I've got my eye on what I think is a special car. It's a couple of doors down. What do you say we go take a look?
Let's go take a look.
Well, Jerry, this is it. What do you think? This is going to be our project car for the next 13 weeks.
This is definitely a project, most definitely. But it's not that bad. My 65 Fastback started off in worse condition than this one.
This is a California Special Mustang. They only made this half of 1 year, 1968. It was a special edition Mustang made just for California. There are some things wrong with the car to begin with, right?
Obviously, the first thing I see is the rusted floor pan, which I discussed earlier. It's
Right.
quite common and very easy to fix.
Right. Now, what about this area right here? This looks a little suspicious, but is it
That's actually a factory seam. And what the factory does is that's how they sectioned the car. And what they did is they put the roof on and then filled it with a seam sealer.
Okay, so this is nothing that we're going to really have to pay too much attention to at all, right?
No, not at all.
Okay. Now, the other rust problems on the car, you pointed out that they will rust around the window a little bit. And actually, you can see that this weather strip is gone here, right?
Right, that's cracked, and what happens is you end up with the water running down like we had described, and it ends up rusting up the floor pans. I suspect that on the other side there's going to be the same kind of separation in the rubber right there.
Right.
And that's what happened to the floor pan on the passenger side floor.
And sometimes they will rust out in this cowl area too, right?
Right, we'll check for that. From looking at the car, I would suspect that it's probably pretty rust-free.
It's pretty clean, but if someone does have rust down in here, we can fix this.
Oh, yes.
It's just not an easy job.
Exactly.
A lot of the parts are readily available from quality aftermarket or quality Mustang parts replacement stores.
Correct.
And I think one of the best ones that we have here, luckily it's in our own backyard, is California Mustang and City of Industry.
Oh, great.
And they have agreed to furnish to us all of the parts for our beautiful project car here. And it is going to be beautiful.
It shall be.
Right. So I want you right now to watch this because we took a trip to California Mustang. We're going to show you what that place is all about. Watch. Well, when you dive into any restoration, one of the first things that you're going to want to do is find yourself a quality supplier of all the parts and accessories that you're going to need. And believe you me, there are going to be a lot more of those than you might think. That's why we've come here today to California Mustang for our California Special. You see, California Mustang is the leading supplier of Mustang parts for Mustang owners and the automotive service parts industry. Let's go inside. I want to show you around. Well, we're here in the California Mustang warehouse, and boy, is this place ever huge. You could get lost here. They have everything in this warehouse, from small fasteners like this to sheet metal, even carpet sets to complete engines. And one of the great things about California Mustang is that they manufacture hundreds of the items that they sell here. This is to ensure that you're getting the finest quality, fit and finish, and of course, great value for you, the Mustang enthusiast.
California Mustang is located between the 60, 57, and 605 freeways in the City of Industry, making it easy to reach from the greater Los Angeles area and Orange County. California Mustang showroom is a popular spot for local Mustang enthusiasts, and it's surprising how often you'll see out-of-state and international customers at the parts counter, too. While it's always fun to visit California Mustang, most of their business is done by telephone, using the company's toll-free 800 lines, mail, and fax. And speaking of business, California Mustang service extends far beyond California and the reach of their 800 lines. Each year, the company does business with customers in 35 to 40 foreign countries. If you're interested in reference materials, you can begin by researching your Mustang. California Mustang is the largest publisher of Mustang-related books, manuals, and videos. Thinking of buying, restoring, or upgrading a Mustang? California Mustang has all the information you'll need to know. Their price guide, data plate decoder, recognition guide, and how-to guides are the core of any Mustang enthusiast's library.
You know, the later model Mustangs are enjoying the same sort of popularity as their early cousins, and California Mustang can take care of all your parts and accessories needs for your 79 up through the present Mustang as well, too. Everything from these wheels, these salines that you see here, to the Cobra wheels, to shock absorbers, and even this front fascia here. This is a saline that would look great on any modern Mustang.
If you're interested in reference materials, you can begin by researching your Mustang. California Mustang is the largest publisher of Mustang-related books, manuals, and videos. The sales team at California Mustang are parts specialists, and they're trained to provide helpful, knowledgeable service. Every customer deserves quick, accurate answers to questions. California Mustang meets this need with experienced, trained service representatives who are backed up by a state-of-the-art computer system, which provides instant information on orders, inventory, and shipping.
Well, a trip through the warehouse here at California Mustang is really quite an experience, especially if you're a Mustang enthusiast like I am. Now, as you can see here, this is quite a pallet full of parts, and these are all the parts that our title sponsor, California Mustang, is furnishing for our project, Mustang California Special, and you're going to see all these parts on the project car on our final show, and we hope you'll join us for that. Now, I would suggest that if you're restoring a Mustang, that you give California Mustang a call and request one of their catalogs. You can do that by dialing 1-800-775-0101 or log on to their website, www.calmustang.com. And believe you me, it'll be the most important step that you'll make in the restoration of your project car. And good luck with your project pony. Welcome back to Classic Car Garage. Well, in this segment, we're going to show you how to plan your restoration so you don't end up with a basket case like we've got here and end up broke, frustrated, and giving somebody else a great deal. And Jerry, I guess if we had to buy this car in this condition, this is typically, what would you say, $500–600 car?
That's correct.
And that is really unfortunate because the owner has about $6,000 in this car. Now, Jerry, what would you say is the most important step beginning a restoration like this?
The main thing you want to do is plenty of research. You want to read all the different magazines. You want to get like the assembly manuals, the shop manuals, and just really think about what you're doing before you turn any wrenches.
Right. Read as much as you can on your mark of car. We would suggest that you join a club to begin with, like the, for example, we have here the Mustang Owners Club of California, or the Mustang Club of America as well too. And you can find out about these clubs in magazines such as Hemmings Motor News. And by the way, this is going to turn out to be almost your Bible, really, for almost all things automotive. Hemmings Motor News. You'll find this on any good magazine stand almost anywhere. And we would also recommend that you pick up a good restoration book. I can recommend this one highly. This is written by the auto restoration expert Jim Richardson, and this is his Classic Car Restorer's Handbook. And Jim, by the way, is going to be a guest on Classic Car Garage on a regular basis as well too. This particular book shows you things in a really easy, this is an easy to understand format. When we come back, we're going to show you some new products. We're also going to take you to the Classic Car Corral. Stay tuned for that next, right here on Classic Car Garage. Hey, welcome back to the Classic Car Garage. This is our new product segment where each week we're going to introduce to you some new products that we found to be quite helpful here in our own Classic Car Garage, and we know that they will be to you as well. First thing has to do with creepers. How many times have you had a creeper that, first of all, didn't last very long, was totally uncomfortable, and by and large just didn't do the job? Well, I've got the answer for you right here. Take a look at this. This is called the Bone, and this is arguably the toughest creeper on the market today. It is ergonomically designed so that it's very comfortable for you. It's also made out of a very heavy molded plastic here, so it's very easy to clean. But where the difference in creepers really comes in between the Bone and others is the other side of it here. Take a look at these wheels. These are extra heavy-duty, tough wheels that will help this creeper ride over drop power cords or almost anything else that'll get in your way. And this is the bone that's made for indoor use for working on your car or truck inside your own garage. But if you're one of those shade tree mechanics who does things outside and wants a little heavier product, we've got it for you right here. This is the bone Rough Rider. Now the difference between this one and the original bone is the wheels. They're a little bit bigger wheel here, a little bit wider and a little bit taller, and these will roll over cracks in the pavement, rocks, whatever might get in your way outdoors. This Rough Rider is going to take you right over it, and both of these products are from Pegasus products in Kent, Ohio. The original bone is about $120. Now, I love to dress up my office, and I love dressing up our set here in Classic Car Garage, and that's why I really like this. This is a Texaco sign, an original design, but a reproduction from Scott Boyle out in Pennsylvania. It's a heavy, heavy metal, and isn't that sharp? Scott's got a lot of other signs as well, too, including a Champion spark plug. He's got the Hood tire sign. He also has the Texaco Pegasus here, and all sorts of other things. He comes out with these things quite regularly. Scott Boyle Enterprises in Pennsylvania. This is about $65. Well, that's all the time we have for us today on Classic Car Garage. We hope you've enjoyed our little tour of finding our project car and ultimately ending up with our Project 68.5 California Special Mustang. We're going to have a ball over the next 13 weeks putting that car back into show condition, and we invite you along for the ride. Till next week, I'm Jeff Shade for Jerry Choate. We'll see you next time on Classic Car Garage.